we are live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode number 10. I'm officially out of fingers to count this, of the Link Cable podcast. So, welcome. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. So, my name is Alex. I'll be the host of all this, and I'm joined today by Kevin, Zahi, and our special guest, Nate. Hi, Nate. Thanks for joining. This week, we got a lot to go over, so pretty much going to jump into it. So we're going to be talking about EA Play Live. We're going to be talking about the Pokemon Not Direct. I think they called it, what did they call it? Presents. And we're going to talk about Crash 4. But before we get into that, Zai, where can the good folks find us?
The good folks of the interwebs and the followers of Link Cable. You can find us all over right now. We are currently streaming on YouTube and Twitch. We will hopefully one day be coming to Mixer. We say that in every podcast until it actually happens. Kevin, one day. Not only that, and you'll be able to search for us on our Link Cable podcast night. Make sure you come right up for all your listening needs.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start off the show kind of addressing something that happened last week. Not necessarily going to be the funnest topic, but we definitely need to address it. So if you guys watched last week's show, you'll notice in our nice little chat that we've got under the Link Cable logo there, we've got a lot of fan interactions coming from YouTube and Twitch. Typically, they're pretty good, but last week, unfortunately, there was some just frankly childish idiots who decided to go on there and post a bunch of racist and derogatory comments. So wanted to first of all apologize for anyone who saw that and was upset. Obviously it was upsetting to us to see it live. I think we all reacted pretty stoically on the stream. Zai especially, you did a really good job keeping your cool there. It's never fun to see it's never fun to see people spouting off nonsense and just racist garbage like that. Obviously, we want to try to keep our streams and chats as fun and safe as possible for everyone. So we did do a bit of research into how to better moderate our chats. We'll make sure to kick out anyone who really wants to bring that negativity into this. Link Cable, we're not a very big website yet. We're not, we have, if I'm looking at it, we've got 42 YouTube subscribers. We definitely need a lot more to get some plaques on the wall and stuff. But if that's what you're bringing, then we don't want you here. We want you to just go away, frankly.
Be here for the right reasons.
Right, exactly. We absolutely love our audience participation. It's what, fuels us. We love bouncing ideas and chatting with you guys, so we want to have those conversations be as positive as possible. So just wanted to kind of address that show here just first of all, we're sorry for anyone who saw that racist crap on there. It's definitely not the type of environment we want to have here. I'm also a big proponent of putting saying that actions speak louder than words. So last week, Link Cable did make a donation to the, I forget the name of the Palestinian Community Association. So we made a financial donation to them, just in support of their cause and to kind of voice our support, right? So personally, I felt pretty rotten that on a platform that spent years building that was the type of interactions that we saw. So again, I apologize. We'll do better at moderating, and if you want to bring racist bullshit onto our chats, then frankly, fuck off. We don't want you here. So that's how we're starting things off, guys.
Perfect. Amen for that. Thanks so much, Alex. Everyone really appreciates it, especially for taking the helm on that.
Yeah. It's definitely not a topic we like or anyone ever wants to address. We want all these conversations to be about fun games and look at all the I'd rather spend time complaining about the awful EA Play presentation than
which we will be.
Yeah, which we'll dive into that in a moment. Than racist trolls, but hey, it's the internet. Not everyone is on the level. Some people just want to try to ruin other people's day, and well, we're not going to stand for that. So, does anyone else want to say anything on that, or do we dive into our regular scheduled programming.
I think what you said was
I
good.
think you covered all the topics.
Awesome.
All right, let's talk some games and
Alex.
positivity and
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
take away from whatever they had and just never talk about it again. Don't give them any more airtime. They don't deserve it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
No, exactly. I was looking into like how do radio and TV personalities jump from a hard topic to a more lighthearted one, and there really is no smooth way to do it. You just gotta like kind of jump in feet first. So
Address
yeah,
stage two and move on.
and move on. Right, exactly. So games we've played. I played a lot of this week, thanks to the Steam. I think they're calling it their summer. I think it's calling it the Summer Festival. Everything is like summer these days. Like I know there's Jeff Keighley's thing is the Summer Games Fest. IGN did their Summer of Gaming, and then I think this is the Steam Game Festival. So I finally got to play Iron Harvest.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh my god, guys, you guys need to play Iron Harvest.
Wait, why do
For those who don't know,
What game is this? Why does this sound familiar, but yet...
Alex just did
because there's a
review
preview on the website.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
Iron
know. I kept thinking... You said Harvest, and I was thinking it was like a like a Harvest Moon
Like
game for some
Animal
reason.
Oh no, you're harvesting your enemies into your giant war machines. Is the idea there. So Iron Harvest it's an RTS, so it's a real-time strategy game that really it reminds me a lot of Command and Conquer and Company of Heroes. If you guys ever played that,
Yes.
where it's very squad-based combat. It's not like so much where StarCraft, where you build like kind of large groups of units. You're more like building like, oh, I've already got my engineers. They'll do the engineering stuff. But basically, it's set in a not post, but like an alternate history version of what happened right after World War One, where instead of like I'm trying to like base it off the demo, which is very light on story elements, but it's a few years after World War One. Europe is kind of like in this like tenuous peace. Like none of the the war is over, but none of the major empires collapsed. So like they're all like fake names, but like the Ottoman Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire are still like kind of around.
That's cool.
And instead of tanks, they're using like these coal-powered mechs, like these giant like 20-story tall mechs that are like a bit steampunky, but like just like kind of. If you imagine like a World War One like tank that grew legs, and so they're kind of like all like riveted and like they look really grimy, and they're coming at you with like buzz saws and stuff like that, and just like so you're basically trying to you're not really building a base more than building your area of control. So like there's a bunch of like oil wells and like refineries around, and you have to capture those to get more resources in, and you can build bigger and bigger armies. And you're up against in the demo, you're up against AI computers. You can play either 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. And it's just, it had been so long since I played a good, like,
RTS.
a fundamentally good RTS. Like, there's no, how would I say it, like flair to it. It's like you build units, you send them, they attack, you support them with other support units, and it's very much almost like it really does a good job of emulating what World War One warfare was like. So as a bit of a side note, I was recently introduced to a channel on YouTube. It's a history channel that is looking back at World War One in real time, week by week. So it started 4 years ago. It started in 2014, and they're called the Great War. It started in 2014, and the Great World War One started in 1914, and so 100 years to the day, they were doing every single week. So I'm like 6 years behind, so I'm catching up on this. But the combat in Iron Harvest is very much like it's trench warfare. It's kind of that. You guys for World War One history, like what they did was they dig trenches. The troops were in there. You'd have an artillery barrage shooting over them, and then once they artilleried the enemy enough, then the troops would run out of the trenches and attack. And the Iron Harvest kind of builds that into you. You're trying to build up your artillery line to have your troops advance and capture the next waypoint, or not waypoint, but supply center. It's really, really good, guys. Like I am
Is
so
it hard? It sounds kind of tough, to be honest.
well.
Is this
It's a,
real quick? Is this like that Frostpunk game? Is it like
No.
or is it more of an open like RTS type of thing?
it's much more open RTS. Like it plays like Command and Conquer.
Okay, so it's like it is very okay. I'm following now because I remember I heard some people talk about that Frostpunk game and they said, oh, it's similar to that type of top-down game, but then I played it and I couldn't stand it. It was not very. There was more of decision making versus like actual. So you get to still go out. I'm looking at the screenshots of it, kind of following like. So it is like an actual just classic RTS game, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It felt good to play a game that feel like it kind of feels like if RTSs didn't really evolve after the mid 2000s and just kind of got better at what they were already doing. Like if a game like Tiberian Sun or Red Alert just kind of kept growing in that sense and not kind of went off the rails like the later Command and Conquer games. But yeah, it's really, really good. So it's in the demos on Steam right now, and the final version comes out I think September 1st on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And holy crap, I love this game. Like this game is awesome. Like
It does look good.
it is. I've been like itching for a good RTS. I went back to Command and Conquer because the remastered's out, and it's really good. But it's an older game, right? Sorry, I've got the hype first.
Yeah, let's say the art for this looks really, really well done.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
even just the concepts are like really detailed, and you can tell it's like they hit that technological wall. So like like you said, the mechs are all coal, you know.
Yeah.
You see the steam coming out. And they're running around with M1 Garands, you know, like it's cool. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you're right. Like it is like, as a history nerd, I was like, this looks so cool. Like, World War I is a really fascinating, or at least I think, time in history. I love reading about it and learning more about it, and to have this kind of like alternate reality take on it that is in a genre I absolutely love. I'm like, yeah, this game is like, I'm already like, I'm just
Into
hyped.
that period.
I'm counting down the days till September.
So they can delay it and then you have to wait longer.
No,
Yeah.
not again.
But the demo's on Steam. Check it out. This is not a paid endorsement, I swear. Like, it really is a good game. And then other than that, obviously, I played Kingdoms of Amalur on stream last night.
Yeah, got to see a little bit of that while I was at the party.
How many hours you in now?
Yeah. About 6.
Okay.
Nice.
I've streamed 3 times and about an hour and a half each. Actually, last night I went over 2 hours.
Yeah.
And someone left a comment on the YouTube channel, and they were like, "Oh, I just 100%ed this game. It took me 130 hours," and I was like, "Oh Jesus, oh God, okay." So I'm in this for a while.
Yeah.
Oh. Have you ever played that game, Nate?
Which one?
Kings of Amalur?
No, never heard of it.
Really?
No? Oh,
Good.
so good. Back in the old
You
360.
should check it out because they're
Yeah.
also having a remake. I don't know if you've never heard of it. You'll probably don't know about the remake that's coming out, and that looks incredible too.
Yeah, Kingdoms of Amalur like
How do you
boss.
spell it? How do you spell the last?
Amalur, something like
Yeah.
that. It's
It's I never got a chance to play
Oh,
it. It's
right.
amazing.
I remember you guys talk about this. Was it last week or the week before?
Oh,
Yeah.
I talk about
yeah.
Yeah.
I said it a few times on stream last night. I really want to be like, guys, go play this game right now. It's so good. But like, also a remaster's coming out in a few months. Like, legit, wait for that. Unless you're not, if you don't have a current console, then yeah, like get a 360 and play this game. Like, I will say I did get a really weird bug last night where near the end of the stream I couldn't access my menus anymore. Like I could pause the game, but I couldn't go into the inventory or the quest menu. And I got really worried because of that I couldn't get into the save option. And I was like, oh, am I about to lose like 2 hours of progress? But the game auto saves, and so when I restarted the game and then it came back on. So there is, and then like I did a bit of research. There are glitches in the game, so I'm really hoping that if for the remaster they iron some of that out, because I haven't run into any game-breaking ones, but from doing some reading on like Reddit threads from 2012, there are some game-breaking glitches in there, mostly on the PC version, but yeah, that's been my week. That was my week. Oh, I played a bit of Animal Crossing, but that's just keeping up
Animal
with.
Crossing have some kind of event or something lately? Something about eggs. Someone
Oh,
came to...
that was months ago.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, eggs are
Yeah.
done, man. Eggs
That's
are
like their-
last.
That's so Easter,
Yeah,
bro.
it's their Easter event.
Yeah, it's their
Oh, man.
Easter event.
I don't know what it was, but I think I was watching like
There was a wedding
something about
thing,
like
right? Wasn't that what was?
Yes.
Wedding?
Yep.
Yeah, the wedding thing's ongoing. I still haven't done it. I haven't bothered to go there. I just take care of my island and move on.
Yeah, I think their summer event was the wedding. You go to an island and you take a picture of their two canon married couple. Like if you play any of the other Animal Crossings, it's always those two llamas, right? The pink
Yeah.
one and the blue one. Yeah.
Llamas.
Cyrus and Reese.
Yes, yes.
Good God.
It's really cute though. You know, just like everything in that game, it's just really cute.
Yeah. It was. I was playing it like in handheld mode while watching. What was that? I was watching some horror movie on TV, and like this like super gory. I don't even remember. I think it was like one of the later Saw ones, and like I'm watching that and I'm playing Animal Crossing at the same time. I'm like, yeah, living my best life.
Yeah.
So
Contrast.
yeah. Cool. Who wants to go next?
Zahi, what about you?
So, actually, this has been kind of a busy week. I recently, I think I mentioned it on the podcast last week. I got a PC. It's okay. It's like circa 2016. I'm learning about like PC maintenance, and Nate is actually helping me in the future to update it. And
You need to bring it over so we can fix it.
yeah, for sure. And I actually downloaded Valorant over the week.
Oh, nice.
I never really enjoyed Counter-Strike so much. I know.
I love CS.
I feel you though.
Counter-Strike in the
Just
middle.
too hardcore.
Yeah, Counter-Strike in the middle. It is. It feels it. Counter-Strike in the Middle East is like huge.
Yeah, you hit the skill ceiling.
Counter-Strike in the whole world is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember growing up, like all my friends back like in the Middle East were like huge into Counter-Strike, and I just never got into it. I think just like I don't know, just growing up here, it wasn't not around PC so much. So Valorant was fun. I only played like 2 games, but I was like in and out of it for the 2 games. Like I was a little distracted, so I didn't really get a chance to go into it, which I would like to this week, hopefully. Other than that, though, it's been The Last of Us 2. So that came out.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Lots of controversy over that
I'm
game
very
right
upset
now
with that
because
game. And not actually the game.
yeah.
I bought it, was so excited to play it, and this is not spoilers because I didn't actually get to play the game, so there's a spoiler for my story.
No.
Had it installing, getting ready, went upstairs, was going to take a nap for a little bit while it's installing, getting ready, lost power. So then I wake up, my PS4 won't turn on, so I'm restarting it, didn't work, unplugged it, plugged it back in, wouldn't turn on, so I left it unplugged, went and ate dinner, came back, and hours have now passed since the beginning of this. It finally turned on. It was all corrupted. I had to try to restart the install for it, and it finally I think is
really
good
bad.
now. I haven't tried launching the game, but I think it's gonna work. So that's my PS4 at least turned on, and because it was freaking out because I have like an external drive plugged into it.
You don't have a Pro, do
Yeah,
you?
I do.
Oh
So,
wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, mine's a regular. So yeah, I got a chance. I've been playing a bit of The Last of Us 2, which has been like, I had a huge discussion about. So The Last of Us 2 is getting like a lot of negative reviews for people who haven't even played the game, and it's being completely bombasted because one of the protagonists is part of the LGBT community. She is a gay woman, and a lot of the comments are, quite frankly, just pure homophobia about the game because one of the characters doesn't fit into their worldview, and it's just they're not even playing it and it's getting bombed, which is odd because the original one didn't have as much hate towards Ellie as this new one did. So something happened between then and there. But regardless, my experiences of the game so far have been very positive.
Yeah.
And a couple moments where it was like, really shocking. So I'm not going to go into it. Don't want to ruin any of these spoilers. But Last of Us 2 so far has been a brutal game. My God.
I think it was during the last state of play, like when they really showed The Last of Us 2 for the last time before it came out. I remember being like, this game is like brutality to like a whole other level. Like it's not even comparable to the first one. So they're really diving into the emotional aspect of it all. So it's interesting. It's a take, right? Like obviously The Last of Us was so big and popular, you'd think they'd want to like stick to kind of what worked, but no, they're taking it in a whole new direction, which is exciting, I guess.
I appreciate that. I like that. You know, they're willing to experiment with their property, and not just that, but Ellie mechanically plays a lot different than Joel. Joel is a big, beefy tank of a guy, and muscles. So when you compare him to Ellie, who's very agile, uses like bows and knives, you know, she's very quick when she has to deal with like clickers or the zombies or other human antagonists. And I'll tell you something. There's one of the antagonists, like straight up, I just want this person dead. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm sitting there playing with my brother, like, not to bring anything up against the story, but I was like, holy shit, we were just sitting, like, upright, we're like, no! Me and my brother, I've never seen my brother, especially, just be so, I don't even care anything about the game, I just want this person dead. I was like, wow. I was like, so, their storytelling, you know, like, it's still on point with that game. I'm very impressed.
That's really good storytelling if they can get you that emotionally invested about a fictional character.
Man, I want to kill that character so bad. I'm just like, you don't deserve to be in this game anymore. You don't deserve to. Wow. I was like, Ellie, grow up and beat the shit out of this person.
But then what are you gonna do afterwards? What happens when he dies?
Oh man, let's not
try to. It just becomes a survival game, or what do you think?
It is, but you know what? I feel like a big part of the overall narrative of the game is it's a bit of like a revenge kind of plot.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be what motivates the story to go forward, I hope.
Yes. So that's what's going to give you your hours in game, as opposed to immediately killing that person and having nothing to do for 90 hours.
Exactly. Like I think if the game's going to have you be motivated like on a personal grudge revenge quest. Through post-apocalyptic America dealing with zombies. I mean, I'll take it.
They could always take the Nier approach with multiple endings, which I always enjoyed.
Ooh, a multiple ending approach? That'd be interesting. I think in this it would like... I don't know how well it would work to have... I could just like think of different endings.
No, I can see them actually implementing that, but I'm just saying it would be cool if they actually tried to do that once.
Yeah. But yeah, no, those have been my 2 games of the week, and a lot of Modern Warfare Warzone, so that's been a lot.
Which we got a review up on the site now, so...
Yes, plug for the site if anyone wants. We have a review for Warzone's out right now. Please go check it out. Alright, Kevin, Nate, you guys are up.
So I'm actually going to jump in because I have a segue, since I didn't actually play Last of Us, but I played a game with the guy that voices... what's his name? What's the guy's name in that? Joel.
Nolan North?
Nope, it's Troy Baker.
It's not Nolan North. Troy Baker.
It's like the other guy that sounds just like
Nolan
Nolan North.
One of the only 2 male voice actors in gaming.
I swear, they literally do everything.
So I played a game that is, the main character is voiced by Troy Baker, and that is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. So I picked that up a couple months ago on a Switch eShop sale. And I've never touched any of the Tales games. I've seen them throughout the last 15 years of me playing games and never really knew anything about them. I had actually bought a couple of them before on just random sales. On the PS3, I bought Tales of Exilia, or whatever, I have no idea how to say it. There's an X in it. The first one, I bought it. Yeah. I don't think I actually ever played it. And then I apparently, I've been using that Galaxy... that game launcher where you can look through all of your games and all your things. Found out I own a few Tales games that I don't remember ever purchasing. Anyway, so I looked online. It says the best one to start with is Tales of Vesperia. And I was like, all right, perfect. So I started it up, and it is really good. It's a JRPG that's not turn-based, so it is an action like battle system, kind of like Ni no Kuni 2 or something where when you run into a guy in the overworld, you go into a small little battlefield, and you run around and you fight. So that's pretty fun. And then it's like a party system, so you get to pick up Along the way, you meet people, and it's like a classic, oh, come join us, they're following you, etc., etc., which I actually really like. The people that join your party are pretty unique. They're all voiced really well, and I'm doing the English voices for them, and like Troy Baker does the voice, who's like a well-known voice actor for this stuff, and everyone, it's really good. It's not like some cheesy. I mean, the game I was really playing before this was Trials of Mana, and the voice acting and for the English was
just gonna say
freaking terrible.
Yeah,
it's hideous.
I was just gonna ask him how did the
Oh
two
my
compare?
god, it's night and day. Like this game, it's like what's nice is like some of the cutscenes in this is like actual hand-drawn anime, and it actually like really brings you into it, and you really like what's going on. Whereas Trials of Mana, it just seemed like a joke with the voices. So yeah, I'm probably about 7, 8, 9-ish hours into the game, and I'm very, very looking forward to continue playing it.
Nice.
Have any of you ever played this? It originally came out in the 360, I believe, in like 2007-ish, 8-ish.
I never played Vesperia, but I played Symphonia. It's my only.
That was the GameCube one, right?
My only
I played
experience.
Symphonia too.
Yeah.
I never. Sorry.
Go ahead, Nick.
I say I never played any of the Tales games, but every time I go to an EA or like an EB or whatever, and I'm like, "What's a good JRPG to start playing?" They're always like Tales games, and it's like the first thing that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, well, which one?" They're like, "Well, the other one we have on sale right now is this one," and look at the bargain bin. And I'm like, "Okay," but so I have a couple.
Yeah,
and I do want to play.
I would recommend the one I played because it's great. It's perfect on the Switch. So I literally like. I have like a regular Switch. So I'll play it on there, and then the last couple nights going to bed, I just grab my Switch Lite, I go up to bed, and I pull it down from the cloud, and I just start playing, and it's great. And it's got it. I haven't played any of the other ones to compare it to, so I'm sure it's like the old ones or the other ones that are in the series. But it reminds me of almost like an older like BioWare game where you'd pick up party members and they all kind of like interact with each other, and you can kind of pick and choose who you want to have with you at all times, even though they're all technically with you. So it's kind of cool. I like that game a lot. The other game, since Last of Us 2 didn't work out, trying to build up during the week to Last of Us, I was playing through Uncharted 4, since I haven't finished that yet. So I played that for another couple hours, and if Last of Us 2 looks anything as good as Uncharted 4, I'm excited, because Uncharted 4 is still incredible, and that came out a couple years ago. And that's pretty much how I play it. I've been playing a lot of that Tales game. It's pretty good. If you guys can see that on like Switch or one of the consoles for cheap, I would pick it up because it's pretty fun.
Nice. Vesperia is badass.
All right, Nate, how about you, sir?
All right,
Best for last here today. See?
Yeah. So the new seasons for everything's coming out. So I'm playing a lot of new God. New season 4 started for that. Destiny 2 season just reset 2 weeks ago.
Yes, my homie.
Or was it this week? I can't really remember, but I've been playing.
The 9th.
Yeah, I've been no-lifing Destiny for the most part. Rocket League Battle Pass is coming to an end. We're on week 13. I don't know if it's at the end, but we're getting close to the end.
Oh, I completely stopped playing Rocket League a few months ago. I need to get back into that.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of the
people
pass,
played
which I
this
just
so
found out-
hardcore. So you guys like.
Well, my friend.
I didn't even know there were seasons in this game.
Yeah.
It's so great
man.
to just get on there and talk
Rocket
shit
League
and
is
like
huge.
play soccer with cars.
Yeah.
So we've been doing that. We're going through all the I've been going through all my challenges. My friends already have them done, but you can actually go back to previous weeks and do the challenges, get all the free stuff. So that's done. So for season pass stuff, that's what I've been doing. But the interesting game we've been playing a lot is this game called Deceit, and it's free to play. It's on Steam. And so what you're doing is there's 2 infected. There's a group of 6, 4 innocent, 2 infected. The infected know who the innocents are, but the innocents do not know who the infected are. And you have to kind of lie and cheat, and like you have to so the infected run around grabbing blood bags, and then you can turn during the nighttime sequence. You can turn into the monster and attack the humans. And the humans are trying to put fuses in. They're trying to escape. Trying to get to the end. You're trying to figure out who the infected are to put them down. You can only vote for them during the day, but it's amazing if you have a group of 6 with you, because then it's you and your friends. Because otherwise you have to play randoms, and the randoms a lot of times they're in Discord calls together and they're not talking to you. And the whole point is to talk to your friends and try to oh, I'm the innocent. No, wait. Look, this guy drank the blood. It wasn't me. And then meanwhile they go okay, I trust you for now. And they'll turn around and then you turn to the monster and you kill him. And,
isn't that just a really detailed game? What's that board game?
Yeah, there's
it's like
Betrayal on the House of
there's
the
a
Hill.
bunch of
I think
games like
it
that.
is
I feel like that are similar. It
like,
sounds like that werewolf game too that I can't think of the name of.
oh god.
What was it?
It's just like
Alone Dark?
it's just like a card, like a regular board
Among
game.
Us.
Who's Clue's?
Clue?
Clue? Is it Clue?
I don't know. Like Clue is like.
Clue.
It's just like any of those
Clue is,
games where it's like
like
somebody is the bad guy or something, and not everybody knows who it is except for the guy that's bad. And you have to figure it out, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it is Clue. Yeah, I think it is Clue.
Clue is like.
100%.
Clue's the murder mystery.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the madam in the parlor with the
Yeah.
With the
I feel
candlestick.
like it's like a Clue-esque type of motif, you know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but no. This is fun. Like, I don't enjoy it as much as everybody else does, but like everyone in the group seems to really enjoy, kind of messing with one another. And then there's upgrades. So there's like, as you level up, you can upgrade your tree, and like your monster becomes more able to kill the humans more secretively or more powerfully or faster. You log in with more armor, blah blah blah. The whole list goes on. But this is a great game. It's free to play. It's on Steam. If you want to deceive. If you're feeling a little deceitful,
Yeah.
and you're just like, you know what? It's fun too because it's like there's a lot of, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's just fun things to do while you're playing. And then as you level up, more things unlock. There's challenges, blah blah blah.
And it's free, right?
And it's free. Like, why not? I mean, you can buy cosmetics, but that's like every game,
Yeah.
In a game like that, it's more like the experience is worth more than you can wear a funny hat or whatever. I don't know what the cosmetics are, but if you have a good group of people, you'll get a lot of mileage out of a game like that.
Well, yeah, it's just fun because you start someone is saying they're Inno, and then they'll kill you, and then you laugh because you're just like, I can't believe you got away with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fun. It's a good game to just talk trash with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe you did this to me. I trusted you. It creates a lot of drama and fun. It's just the drama of it is kind of fun.
How long does a round last in it?
Yeah.
I would say, well, it depends. If you get wiped out right at the first stage, probably like 5 minutes. But if you take it all the way to because there's like levels, it could probably take about 20 minutes, maybe. Okay. So they're pretty fast. Like, they're bite-sized.
Oh, it's not like okay.
It's not like a long, drawn-out thing, because that would make it not fun. The fun of it is that it usually goes pretty quick. And then you can switch between the characters. Like, there's different... each character has a name, so like Hans, Nina, Rachel, whatever, and so you can call out people by their character, so you don't have to say they're like Sniper God 360. He might be a infected. It's like Hans's character is I think him. You gotta point the finger, and then people are like, well, no, there's no way you have proof of that. There's a lot of that going on, so that's like a lot of fun about it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
That's what.
Nice. That was a good week for everyone. I think we all got I think it had been a couple of weeks where I was like, oh, I got no time, just streaming Amalur and that's it. But no, this was a good week for everyone, I think. All right, so we'll move on to the big events. So last week there was quite a few big gaming events. The biggest one was EA Play Live 2020. So EA's E3 quote unquote whatever press conference thing. So they had some announcements. We can go through them here. So I have a list. Do you guys want me to just go through it and then we can give our thoughts on it?
Yeah, I have a list up as well.
All right. So started off with Apex Legends. So adding in crossplay support. It's also coming to Steam and Switch. And then, those versions are coming later in the fall. They'll have crossplay across all their platforms for that. So that's cool, I guess, if you play Apex. I do not play Apex, so I
love
don't really
Apex.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think it's the kind of game that works on does it need crossplay? Like, does it need that bigger infusion of players, or?
I don't think it's the infusion of players it needs. I think right now Apex has gotten a lot of positivity. I think it's really well reviewed regardless of I don't think it needs the player to that level of play. But I have friends that are on PlayStation and friends that are on Xbox and friends that from both consoles that now want to play on PC since we have it. Yeah. So that inclusion of a versatility factor with a game that's already popular, and it's not I don't think they're going cross-platform because of the lack of players. I think right now Apex is, Nate, even I think you'd know even, buddy. Apex is really strong in the numbers right now, and it's really good in the competitive community. So I don't think it's because they need the player count. I think it's just to open it up and bring more people into the game and give that more options, flavors.
Yeah, at the same time, I mean, I think they're just trying to, jump in with what everybody else is doing, because I feel like if the trend is if you don't do it, then you look stupid, because it seems like everybody else is doing it now. So if you don't, now you're the guy left behind. So it's just kind of the right thing to do, I guess. Which is okay, because it opens things up. I mean, I don't think people are going to complain. I mean, some people, I guess if you're on a Switch playing against people on an Xbox, then you might feel cheated because you got, the lesser hardware. But if you're that competitive about it, why would you be playing on a Switch anyways, I feel like competitive people are going to want to play on their top-end systems like PC or something.
I don't remember what game it was, but there was a game that got crossplay a little while ago, and there was this big...
Destiny 2?
No, it wasn't one of the bigger games, but anyway, the problem was that when you have PC players who have mouse and keyboard for shooters like this, they have much faster reaction times than someone playing with a joystick controller. And it was the leaderboards were just PC players dominating, and so they actually had to take PC players out of the crossplay pool because they were like, it's unfair. So
Warzones right now is also cross-platform. Me and Nate have been playing cross-platform for a little bit now.
Well, I say I think that's the biggest part. Is it's not so much about the competitiveness of it. It's the inclusion of your friends, because a lot of my friends still don't have PCs. Their main consoles are their PlayStation or their Xbox, and it's if we want to play together, you can't.
It gets complicated.
That's why
I agree.
That's what I love about Modern Warfare, Warzone, is that I can play with my friends no matter what system they're on. I thought that was an amazing thing, and it's great. The numbers, I want to say that in terms of Battle Royales, I think Apex is probably coming in a little lower, but I don't think that the crossplay is, it was necessary. I still see streamers playing this game, loving it. That's, all they play, and they're insane at this game. But I think it's more about the I want to play with my friends now. Instead of playing with randoms, at least in my view, that's kind of what it is.
Nice.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, just open up availability. I think is just the best thing. I mean,
absolutely. I think the days of when a new game comes out and you have to coordinate with your friends which version you're getting are pretty much done. It's for a lot of these.
I think they'll be done.
Games.
Yeah, with the PS5 and the Series X, I think that era is winding down to a close. Yeah. And it's similar concept, all digital versions. I think discs age is going. Sorry, I have to plug that in once a podcast.
No, I think we are reaching the end of the physical media era. Yeah. I think there's problems with that because I think we discussed it a few shows ago. You have two things that can't be solved by digital only media, and that's game preservation and used game sales. Those two things are very important to a lot of people. And if you go digital only, I think it's great as a personal choice. You might want to do that, but there should always be, in my mind, a physical option there as well. But then you have games like Apex, which will never release do not release physically. This is a download only game, right? So it is there's a finite nature there, but right, for the rest of the EA thing, they had a bunch of small announcements. They are bringing more of their games to Steam, which I always I don't use Origin, so I always forget that their games were never on Steam, and so people are like, "Oh, this is a big deal." Yeah. But they're bringing A Way Out, Dead Space 3, which is the worst Dead Space. I don't know why they're bringing that one.
I thought Dead Space 3 was already on Steam. It was it not?
No. The Sims 4 and Titanfall 2 are all coming to Steam, and they have more Steam games coming later, so that's something.
Yeah. You know what? People shit on what's it called? The third game.
Dead Space 3?
Yeah, on Dead Space 3. I did not mind it. It was not that bad.
It wasn't scary.
I have a thing. I like horror games set in snowy environments. So I guess I was a little biased.
Do you love Lost Planet then?
I love Lost Planet.
Oh, what happened to Lost Planet? I guess no one bought
Oh, what happened to Lost Planet?
I think the second one flopped, unfortunately.
Yeah, the second one flopped.
It was in a weird era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoya, I'm gonna send you this video by Indie Mouse that he played the last Dead Space, Dead Space 3, I should say, and it's hilarious. You're gonna like, what is this? But I'm gonna send you this video so you can watch later.
It's so good.
It's so funny. It's so
like
funny.
games. I've always liked games set in either a snowy environment or a desert environment. I just think that there is a lot of ideas you could do with that, and it wasn't so scary. The DLC was pretty creepy for.
I never played the DLC for it.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I played the DLC for it, and I'm really upset because the setup at for Dead Space 3 at the ending, leading into like a Dead Space 4, was crazy cool. And
never gonna happen.
Oh, and then never gonna happen. Like the game was mediocre.
We're getting Crash 4 now, so.
Oh, beauty!
Yeah,
like the game was. Like
but Vicarious Visions has not been shut down.
Okay,
thank God.
The studio exists still.
Let's say if it's EA, they just love rebooting old series, don't they?
Yeah.
No. God.
I think the first 2 Dead Spaces were some of the scariest games I'd ever played, and then Dead Space 3 came along, and I was like, pew, 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 aliens, all right. I was like, it wasn't as, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think something like Aliens Isolation came in, and like, yeah, I think the pew pew shoot aliens in the face formula kind of got a little stale, and I think we got a lot of things at that time. I think the reason why Dead Space 3 didn't really make it is because things like Outlast and exactly Alien Isolation at the time had kind of come out, and those were like the new way to scare.
Yeah.
I think it lost kind of that edge.
Yeah, I could see that. Then they also announced a new multiplayer hero shooter called Rocket Arena, because there's not enough multiplayer hero shooters. So apparently this is an older game where it was apparently announced a few years ago but hadn't picked up a publisher, so it looks like EA has stepped up to publish this game. So it one of the things that like struck me that was really cool about this game, even though it really isn't the type of thing that I'm kind of gravitate to as a player, was the maps look really fun. They had this one that was like you're on a train going through a jungle, through like the jungle and then into like a cave mountain volcano thing, and then you're shooting it's all rocket based, right? So you're just shooting missiles at each other. It looks kind of fun. I think Zalia and Nate are the bigger hero shooter players in this chat than I am, but it looks fine.
I'll try it out.
Wait, so what is this?
It's called Rocket Arena.
I'm playing videos of it in the chat. I think this is the right game. Yeah. It says it's got rockets.
Yep.
Around the stream, okay.
It's got rockets.
So is this EA's like Overwatch response? You think?
Overwatch, Valorant.
I mean, this actually looks kind of good.
Yeah, the art for it's pretty. Fortnite-y,
I'm starting to realize there's some of these games that like are not as well known, like the big ones, like obviously Valorant and Overwatch, and there's tons of them that are kind of like the side ones, like the one that Microsoft had that's like the Overwatch one, which I still can't remember the name of.
Came out like 2 months ago, and everyone's like, completely
what is that one called? The Blood
Crucible?
No, that one. Forget that one. I can't remember. Anyways,
I really don't.
But like I've been playing Paladins a little bit here and there, and that game I feel like is really good. I've been really surprised by how good that game is. I can't think of what this other game's called, but yeah, I think some of these little ones, that company that makes like Smite and Realm Royale, I think they have like, it's like the second-rate version of all like the big type of games that are out, like the Battle Royale, the MOBA. That they make some pretty good stuff. I can't remember the name of the company, which is great for this podcast, but check out those games I mentioned.
Yeah, I've heard really good. It's not something I don't know. I never really gravitate to that. Like my shooters, I've always played Call of Duty.
That's what Hi-Res Studios. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Hi-Res Studios, right? I always played like more games like Call of Duty and just the deathmatch or team battles, and I was perfectly happy with that. But but Rocket Arena looks fun. It is nice that they put like a different spin on it, where it's all rockets. It kind of reminds me of like back in the day playing GoldenEye, and then you set like the random like slappers only or something.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I mean, I really think it's nice that some studios are trying to add variety to the MOBA genre anyway, because that's the thing. Like playing the same MOBA over and over again gets a little stale. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm done with Overwatch. Maybe I'll play some Rocket Pass or
Yeah.
sorry, what is this?
Rocket Arena.
Rocket Arena. Sorry, I keep looking at it and I can't read it.
I keep wanting to call it Rocket League.
Yeah.
Like, just not at all the same thing.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, but the maps look so great. I hope the maps look this good when the game
maps
launches.
look really good.
Yeah, like this looks like a lot of fun, honestly. The grapple abilities, you got the rockets everywhere, and like if you ever played, there's actually a mode in Destiny 2 called Scorched, which is just everyone with scorch cannons, and you're just jumping around trying to blow each other up. And this is just like that game mode in Destiny, but like with a lot of more variety in it, and that honestly could be a lot of fun. I feel like this sort of thing. This is gorgeous. Sorry.
The next thing they had, and I guess this is their big game that they got to show off a lot of gameplay of and give us a bit more insight into, was Star Wars Squadrons.
Yeah.
So it's a entirely fighter-based. It's a 5v5 space combat game coming out October 2nd, so not that far away.
My birthday.
Oh,
Nice.
there you go.
Happy birthday. You get to play Star Wars.
Yeah.
play Star Wars. So they showed a lot about this game. I guess one of the things that really I thought was really interesting was that every ship is a class. So like you're not just all like in X-wings and just dogfighting. You need like a support ship. I think it's a U-wing, and then you've got your bombers that are causing the damage. And they're showing like the main mode where I think it's called Fleet Battles, where it's kind of like the Battlefield 2 style, where you are like you finish the first stage, you move on to the next one, which is this objective, and then you move on to the next one, which is taking down the big capital ships. So Star Wars Squadrons looks really good, but guys, I gotta say I'm pretty disappointed. I've been like sitting on this all week. I wanted Rogue Squadron. I wanted that more arcadey feel.
Yeah, not like a team-based kind of thing.
And it looks, it's a Star Wars fighter sim. Like it's a lot like the old X-wing versus TIE Fighter games.
Yeah,
it's only first person.
they were
right?
saying,
Isn't that? So I read that.
Right. Only first
Yeah,
person.
I'm not a fan of that part.
No, like I miss those Rogue Squadron games. Like those were the best Star Wars. Like, I think I said it last week. They're the best Star Wars games. Are the Rogue Squadron games.
Yeah.
KOTOR's good. Rogue Squadron's better.
Breaking my heart. I love KOTOR.
Yeah. Oh, I love KOTOR. I absolutely love it. I prefer Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. I understand.
Like they were showing a part where they're like, oh, here's all like your dials and your gauges, and like, you can transfer power from your shields over to like your weapons, and you can send your like if you got someone on your tail, you send your shields backwards. And I was like, that's great. I just want to blow up TIE fighters, man. Like just let me like.
It doesn't have to be so complicated.
You're like, it doesn't have to be Elite Dangerous Star Wars Edition. Is that what you're getting at?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if they'll add the compatibility for if you have like the stick. You know what I mean?
Oh, they did. For PC, they said if you have a flight stick, you can use it.
Oh, that's
No
awesome.
That's
way.
kind of cool.
That is cool. All right.
That's gonna be a lot of fun, actually.
What about VR support? How about that?
It does have
Oh,
VR.
God.
The entire game is playable in VR.
Okay. Well.
What?
So
Okay.
after I spend like 5 minutes crapping on the game, all the good stuff.
Yeah, because I didn't.
Yeah.
I skipped through this whole part because I didn't think about all the. I was like, oh, it's okay. But now, VR would be kind of cool with this game. I wonder if I'd feel sick, but because you're in like a vehicle, would your body get sick because you're not really moving, or I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, there's the VR mode in Battlefront 2, which I thought was fine. Like I didn't really.
Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of Rogue, I was just gonna bring up Battlefront 2 actually. What's the point of Squadrons when you have, the ship fighter in Battlefront 2 or like TIE Assault in Battlefront?
Do you want the cynical answer or the
money?
We need a holiday Star Wars game.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, also that, and I think Battlefield left a lot of sour taste in everyone's mouth. The way that they handled it, it was buggy. It was pay to win. Nobody liked it. Nobody bought it. At least that's how I view Battlefront 2. So I mean, like, I would just buy a standalone Star Wars shooter.
I am more into the space combat game than the ground combat game for Star Wars.
So am I.
Yeah. Because it was just Battlefield, but with Star Wars paint on it. I was like, this is why, why do I need to play this?
And I know we got the trailer up on stream right now. Like, this game looks good. This is a good looking game. There's no it looks like a Star Wars fan game, not fan game, but like your fan dream game when you're playing back in the day when you're playing the old Rogue Squadron games. This is what in your head. This is what it always looked like.
Yeah.
So it looks good. I don't really want. I didn't want a sim. I wanted to just give me an X-wing. Let me go out and fly around.
You an arcadey thing. Well, that's the thing too. It's like a little bit of a little thing to keep in the back of your mind is this is all CGI pre-rendered. The real game probably won't look like this, unfortunately. Right. This is gorgeous, and you're just like, no, but it's all CGI pre-rendered. Like,
it is developed by it is Motive that's making it, so it is the Battlefront 2 team, and they Battlefront 2 for all its faults is a good-looking game.
Amazing.
So, at least they got that going for them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. We're going to get to play it soon, which is nice. This is kind of one of the sad things about E3 not actually happening is that this is the kind of game if we would have went to E3, we would have played. And we would be able to be like, oh, this is how it plays. This is how it feels. We kind of have to just judge it by its trailer, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then the last.
And that's why people showing real gameplay, is so important right now, more than any other time.
Absolutely, Microsoft.
I just love watching the trailer. I'm seeing all the explosions. I'm like, man, my frame rate is gonna drop real hard when I get to that part. All the explosions, the particle fest coming off, and my PC's gonna turn to a little easy bake oven over here.
Easy bake oven.
Download more RAM.
You can always download more RAM.
Then they, just to wrap up the EA show, they went through a bit of announcements. These weren't really announcements, more like we are, our studios, like Criterion and BioWare, are working on next-gen games. They didn't say what they were, which is
a bunch of talking heads just trying to build hype of something that wasn't even there.
Yeah. And which really that part really worried me. Like, is EA not ready for next-gen?
No, I bet they're ready for next gen, but all they have is sports games, and every time all they do is play sports games on these things, people get pissed.
They did have sports games too. Speaking of sports games, they did announce a new Skate. So I guess Skate 4.
I love Skate.
Yeah, I never played Skate. I was a Tony Hawk's Underground kid. That was my game.
Tony Hawk games are really good. This is like a whole new monster. It's so much fun once you get the flow ready. It's all about the stick movement, right? And just doing your lines, going your manuals to your grinds. It gets me excited.
We have a resident skater in the house.
Yeah.
They did say that they're it's very early in development, so it's probably not even a 2021 game, which is a bit too bad. But I think that was that's what I wanted more out of this show, was more of hey, we are making games that are games you don't know about. Other than Rocket Arena, we didn't talk about anything that we didn't know about. I think they had a couple, I don't want to, they had a couple of indie games in there too. I think Lost in Random and the new game from Hazelight, the Way Out people. So they had a couple of indie games in there too, but it was EA had almost nothing new other than Skate. We already knew about Star Wars. They announced it last week for some reason. So I thought overall the show was pretty lame for new announcements.
Really it wasn't even
all right, it was fine. It was really
what did
lame.
they actually announce that was not the Squadrons thing we heard about earlier in the week, and then they officially said that was it. And there was nothing else that was announced at all. Nothing new.
There was a part in there, and they're like, oh, and we also have 7 other games coming to Switch. And that was it. It was like, what? What games?
But again, these aren't aren't new thing. That Rocket game is the only thing I saw that was new that we saw that's actually coming.
Right. So, the only thing that really got me excited, and Squadrons was kind of Apex, I'm really happy for. So, that's a side thing. But Apex is already something that's out. I'm a huge fan of the Dragon Age series, and when that weird lady was on the overprompter just saying, we're making creative, it was so stiff.
Yeah.
My God, she talked as if she was like, and yes, we are now working on games of the future that deal with the fantasy setting, and then it just showed like abstract fantasy behind it. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that Dragon Age 4?
Generic fantasy. Please
Generic fantasy.
don't sue us, Token. This is generic fantasy.
It was. I was
And
like,
the worst, like they've announced Dragon Age 4. Like it was at the Game Awards like 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we know they're making Dragon Age 4. Just tell us you're making Dragon Age 4.
I just drive me crazy. I just want to see a Dragon Age 4 trailer. I want to know that it's into Ventur. I want to know what happens to Solas and my Inquisitor. I'm a nerd with Dragon Age. Just give me something.
Yeah,
Or you know what? Give me a fucking Mass Effect game. Give me the Mass Effect remastered trailer. Jesus Christ.
Where was Mass Effect Remastered? Like that was rumored all week or all month. Like everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to be Mass Effect Remastered." Everyone is making tons of money on remasters. EA is sitting on two of the best games of all time in Mass Effect 3, and they are not. Well, I haven't played them. I just read what the internet says. But I'll get to it.
It
after
is
it
weird.
gets
I don't know. And maybe they got more. Do they have another event for EA?
Nope.
So
Not
this
from
is
what
their
I
big
read.
like.
Yep. It was such a whimper.
Maybe they've got more stuff
was.
coming out for, like the new generation stuff that maybe Microsoft and Sony doesn't want them to announce yet. Maybe like because Microsoft's got their thing next month, right, in July. So maybe they have stuff for that they're not supposed to announce yet. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they want to wait
Like-
closer to the launches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, there's hope for that. I just.
We can't
It was-
disappoint too much if we don't tell them anything.
Yeah.
There was a part in the EA there was a part in EA Play Live where we skipped over just now because it's nothing, but they showed a trailer for Command and Conquer Remastered that came out 3 weeks ago, and they spent like 5 minutes talking about it. Like it's a great game. Like yeah, play Command and Conquer Remastered, but like, why are you telling us about old? No one's tuning in to hear about old games. Like this is this has been. Like, I've watched every EA show for years around E3. This is not, like, I don't know why I'm so hot and bothered by it, because this is every year they do this to us. They don't give us anything new.
I mean, at least last year they had stuff coming out. Like, I remember watching last year's, I think it was last year.
Star Wars.
They had the Star Wars.
Jedi Fallen
They had a
Order.
big outdoor event I remember watching, and I was actually pretty excited. And it's like, oh yeah, I have these games coming at the end of the year. The end of the year is coming, and what the hell are we going to be doing? Like, what are we playing?
No,
We're all just going to play Shadowlands for WoW's new expansion because there's nothing else to play.
Oh god.
I don't know. It's a weird time in the world, and gaming is no exception because it's just as bizarre about... It does not follow the previous year. Like, I remember when the Xbox One and stuff was coming out, there was all kinds of stuff people were talking about, like, you know, the Switch, too. It's like, the Switch is coming out, yet all these great exclusives are coming out. There's nothing that's... We don't got anything.
It's kind of like... There's a few companies who are trying to hold on to the idea of E3, and then there's the other half of the industry that is just kind of like, whatever, we'll do whatever we want later. Like, and like July's gonna, like, we talked a lot, and there's still events in June, and I will we'll list them off later. Yeah. But there's still events in June. But July, we got Microsoft and Ubisoft in July. So Ubisoft's got to have their big blowout.
Yeah, Just Dance 2021. Yeah, can't wait.
Oh, I think we're going to see Beyond Good and Evil 2. I don't want to get into like a predictions thing because it's over a month away, but like I think Ubisoft announced a lot of games that are going to end up being next gen games, like Beyond Good and Evil 2, Skull and Bones, Gods and Monsters, Rainbow Six Quarantine,
Just Dance 2021.
Yes.
Telling you.
Actually, our
I
resident
really
Nate
hope-
here is a huge DDR master.
I love
One
that Dance Revolution.
Hold on, we're about to
It's
get.
part of the show
about to get
where
an
Alex
Alex
grabs
show.
something off the shelf.
It's like one of my favorites.
I really hope so. I bought Just Dance 2020. I don't know if it's like glaring a light here.
There we
But
go.
I bought it on the Wii.
Yeah.
How weird is this that Just Dance 2020 came out on the Wii?
It's on the Wii.
You gonna play it?
It's on. Oh no, it's factory. It's staying factory sealed. But it didn't come out on Wii U. It came out on Wii. I love
What?
this. This is like one of my favorite games, and I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah.
I every time someone brings up Just Dance, I'm like, please come out on an obsolete console. Please come out on an obsolete console.
Come out on a fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skyrim, right?
They don't even have Just Dance for the Switch yet, do they?
Yeah, it came out on Switch. Too.
Yeah, I've already got the Switch.
But
it's almost like a joke that it came out on the Wii.
Well, I was looking at the sales numbers for it, and the Switch version was the best-selling version, which makes sense. This was the second best-selling version. This outsold the Xbox One and PS4 versions of Just Dance 2020.
What?
Yeah.
It's it's so weird.
I know
like,
those games sell really well in like South America and stuff, where like it's there's such crazy like tax on buying stuff that people don't have a lot of gaming consoles. Like the Wii, like the PlayStation 2 was like huge there for forever. There was games that were being made for, they kept making FIFA on PlayStation 2 just because those people only had that console.
I think FIFA 2014 was the last PS2 game,
which is crazy.
And PS4 was out for a year at that point.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. I absolutely love weird gaming stuff like that. So I think they said that Just Dance 2020 was going to be the last time they put a game on the Wii. I really hope they lied. I hope there's more.
Well, you're gonna laugh because like thinking about it, the only gaming console at my mom's house is a Wii.
Right.
And that's the only thing they have. It's like because it was marketed for families, right? So it's so easy for my mom to pick up the remote. She knows how to point at the TV and click, her boom blocks or whatever, and just have a good time with it.
Yeah, and these games, like they're like I think I keep looking at it. The Wii ones don't, or the Wii one doesn't have like all the new like online stuff and the new like cause you can't. There's no online for the Wii anymore. But it's really just pick up your Wii remote and start shaking it around and like. I'm looking at the artists on here, and like some of these, I don't even think like were artists when the Wii came out in 2006. Like Ariana Grande was not a thing in 2006.
No, she was like 8.
Oh God.
Billie Eilish was not a thing in 2006.
No one will understand, man. No one will get it.
Anyway, love it. Anyway, moving on from the Wii and Just Dance. So there was also a pretty short notice Pokemon Presents, which is a different titling. Usually they use the direct thing, so that's a curious thing there. But anyway, so they announced a bunch of Pokemon stuff, and they announced a couple of little things, and then it looked like it was going to be like, all right, this is just going to be the little Pokemon show, and then they dropped the Megaton that people have been asking for like over a decade.
Like fucking ever.
Pokemon Smile.
Yeah.
Oh, that was in
it. Pokemon Smile, going to get our pearly whites, all pearly and white. So Pokemon Smile, for if you didn't catch the show, is an app for kids to kind of get them like interested in brushing their teeth. So like you put the phone like by the sink, and it's like you're brushing your teeth with Pikachu, and the longer you brush, you might catch Pokemon. So
cute.
Honestly, that is using your IP like geniusly. Like that is a really smart idea. And then they also had Pokemon Cafe Mix, which is a mobile and Switch game, which looks like a match puzzler. You're swirling your Pokemon in your drink to make a kind of a pattern in your drink. There was a Pokemon Go update. The first part of the expansion pass for Pokemon Sword and Shield is out, and so they talked a bit about that. The Isle of Armor. Jacob, who's not on the show this week, he's telling me he downloaded it. He says it's really good, but it's really easy. So there's there's the entire review. It's good, but it's easy. Which was actually
Thanks for coming to Link Cable, all guys. Perfect. We'll be heading out now.
10-word reviews. Yeah. Which actually, that was kind of my problem with Sword and Shield in general, was that it was shots fired. The big news was that they're making a new Pokemon Snap game.
Snap.
They're just flat out even calling it new Pokemon Snap.
Which is bizarre that it just seems like what is all of a sudden they're like, you know what, let's do this now. Like, why does it take so long for them to think about that? It just what made it now?
I don't know. Like, I don't know why now is the right time.
I think the influx.
I'm wondering if you can use the Switch as like a little camera and do something like that. You think that's like an AR type of world?
I thought that for the Wii U. I was like, okay, they're gonna make Pokemon Snap for Wii U because it's a perfect idea for like that gamepad.
Didn't the gamepad have a camera on it as well?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Pokemon Company.
But looking at
Pokemon.
looking at the trailer that we've got up right now, like this game looks good. Like I get that it's on rails, so like you can put a lot of time into making what you want to look at look very good. But like comparing this to Pokemon Sword and Shield, like this looks like a modern game. Sword and Shield looks like a 3DS game that they turned the resolution up on. This looks really good. It's being developed by Bandai Namco, which is a really interesting choice, but they've been doing a lot of good work for Nintendo lately. So what are your guys' thoughts on new Pokemon Snap?
Pokemon Snap was originally one of the only reasons I ever wanted to own a Nintendo 64. Before I really knew about Legend of Zelda and the Nintendo games, because back when Pokemon was out and Game Boy was just like in their prime, Pokemon Snap was like on any Nintendo 64. Everyone had it, and it was like everyone to get to Mew at the end. Highlight of a lot of kids' journey through the Pokemon world. So I'm really excited for it. I've always wanted a new Pokemon Snap. That's weird. I said the title.
I remember renting that game like back when you could do that.
So did I.
Oh, every weekend.
I remember that too because I didn't own it either.
Yeah. I still don't own it. I went through my collection a while ago and I was like, I still don't have Pokemon Snap. I need to pick that one up at some point.
I actually had my PSP. Didn't work very well at all. Modded to play Pokemon Snap, and then it just did not work properly. And then I got I think in 2011 maybe, I had my laptop. I had an emulator for Pokemon Snap.
Pirate.
Oh god, it was so good. I couldn't pass it up.
How dare you?
So I'm so excited for a new Pokemon Snap game. Like beyond excited. I think it's the only Pokemon game I will actually play of the new era.
Well, I'm actually excited to actually own Pokemon Snap because I've never had it. I've always had to go to my buddy's house and play it.
Yeah.
And he would show me like all of the things. Like he's like, oh, if you do this, you do that. Like this Pokemon shows up. I'm like, that's really cool. I really want this game.
What is up with that game and like no one ever owning it and only ever going to someone? It's like, I don't know, man. It's like one of those games.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually own it either, to be honest with you. I remember renting it a ton. We had a Hollywood Videos where I'd rent games from, and I would rent it from there so much.
It's just one of those titles.
And it's such a... Who would have thought that a photography game would catch on so much for people? You know what I want it to support, and this is a really weird request. I wanted to support that Labo camera they put out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Why not? Like use Labo.
Those Labos are
cardboard.
The Labo kit is on sale right now for $20.
I can't find the VR kit, and I would like to have the VR kit. So I'm putting it out there, internet. If you can find the VR kits, and let me know. I want to pick it up.
I think a big part of the photography thing is that you actually got to see the Pokemon being Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Pokemon games are just a little static. You know, they fight, they attack, but you never got to see them out in the wild living their best life. And Snap kind of brings that to you. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh look, there's they're eating apples and they're swimming, and
it's you're right, man. It's like a slice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
Yeah. Because then they feel more like animals or Pokemon than just like here's my my cutesy Japanese cockfighting simulator. It brought life to the Pokemon universe. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's
in a weird way that is what Pokemon are essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't think about it too hard. Pokemon is the kind of series that you just don't think about it. Just they're having fun shooting each other with fireballs and thunderbolts. Don't worry about it.
Until they pass out and then we heal them.
Yeah. They're more than happy to. Don't worry about it. So
it's like a Mystics. This is what they were born to do.
Yeah.
So actually one of my favorite reminds me of like a really old webcomic I saw where there's a Pokemon trainer who runs into a Gyarados and he throws out his Pokeball and a Pidgey comes out. and he's like, "Go Pidgey, fight the Gyarados!" And the Gyarados uses Hyper Beam, and it's like, it smokes the Pidgey. You see the Hyper Beam, like you see it through the town. All the trees are like blown away. You see it from like the next city over, and it's like the sky is turned like red. And then like you see it from space, and like the Earth, like a big chunk of it is ripped off, and then it's just like Pidgey fainted.
That's amazing.
That's one of my favorites. So I do have a fun bit of gaming trivia about Pokemon Snap, if you guys will indulge my nerdiness for a second. And it's actually funny because it ties back to the Wii. So on the Wii Virtual Console, Nintendo put out a bunch of games, and Pokemon Snap was one of them. And Pokemon Snap is one of the only games that they put on the Virtual Console that isn't a pure, straight emulation of the original. They actually modified it, where they added online features where you could send your... You remember the Wii had that messaging system? You could send people like email through the Wii. Mm-hmm. You could send your Pokemon Snap pictures through the Wii. So that's my fun piece of gaming, I guess, minutia that I know about, is one of the very few Wii Virtual Console games that was enhanced in some way. Anyway, so there was another bit of an announcement during the Pokemon thing where they said, hey, we're going to announce our next big project next week during a second Pokemon Presents. And I was wondering if you guys had some thoughts as to what that might be. I have one, but I'll let you guys go.
What they'll show at the next Pokemon Presents?
Yeah, what it's next week, and they said that it's going to be a big, it's their next big project.
It's like a project, not like it's an actual game.
Project could be a game, could be a arts and crafts thing.
With how they're going right now, it probably could be an actual arts and crafts.
I mean, they have a teeth brushing app. Like, it could be anything.
I would say, like, didn't they just come out with Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah, Mystery Dungeon the remake was a few months ago.
I want to play that, but it's still full price. It's not worth $60.
It'll always be full price.
And I hear, like, I played the DS version, I think, and apparently this is not a very good version of that game. So.
Okay, so
I haven't played it. It might be great. Who knows?
How about an introduction of a Pokemon character in Smash?
They've got like 50 of them.
Yeah.
I don't think people would be happy if they did that. There's so many of those already. I think it's going to be...
Are there more Pokemon than Fire Emblem characters?
No, I don't think so.
There's 8 Fire Emblem characters in Smash.
You know, this is completely out of left field, but
Pikachu,
I would love it
Pikachu,
if the announcement was
Mewtwo,
about...
Incineroar, Greninja.
What's that, Nate? Keep
Pokemon
going.
Trade.
Oh, sorry. This is like, it's totally probably not going to happen, but I would love it if they revamped the card game again.
Oh, wow, that'd be a good one.
Like, I love the Pokemon trading card game, and I know there is like an online version of it, but there was one for the Game Boy that I loved.
Yeah, so did I.
And if they remade
I think it was,
and like
that was like the one Game Boy game that I loved playing, was the card game one. And it was like a little bit of an RPG, and it was I don't know what it was called, just Pokemon trading card game or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Something real generic too.
It was really good.
But I love that game, and if they announced something like that, it would personally mean a lot to me. I think.
That'd be
Do
real.
you want like a trading card game?
Yes.
Like an actual, like a video game of the trading card series, or do you want the actual cards in real life?
No, I want to be able, because like the thing was that like you didn't have to own the cards to have the cards in the game. And let's be honest, I'm not going to go out and buy card booster packs to try and be better at this
That's
game.
exactly why.
You know what I mean? I want like them all included. I want you to go get them. I want you to do the RPG elements to get the special card that you had to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I think that was in that game. I don't remember.
I really hope if they do that they can hold themselves back from all like the possible DLC that could bring.
Yeah.
And basically, I don't want Pokemon trading card game being Magic the Gathering Arena.
Yeah.
I just want give me an RPG where I play the Pokemon trading card game.
That's exactly what I want. I don't want like a Hearthstone or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like a Gwent.
Yeah. Okay, Gwent's good though.
So I've seen a bunch of the mock-ups of the Let's Play for the Johto, the gold and silver stuff. I've seen it multiple times. So
yeah, that could be.
I have a feeling that might be because the Let's Eevee and Let's Pikachu stuff sold really well. Like if you look at the list of what's been selling best for Switch, it was in the top 10. I don't know if it still is with Animal Crossing, some newer stuff, but I mean, I can't imagine that game's that hard to make. You already know what you're doing. You just gotta do it.
Can I throw in a hot take? I always pick up the mic when I do a hot take. I don't know why.
This is how you get excited.
It feels.
He's getting really into it.
Yeah.
Hot take. Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee are better than Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Wow.
Wow. You know what? I'm having a hard time disagreeing with you, honestly, in my mind.
To be honest, I didn't really love either of them. Sword and Shield was fun, but it was really, really easy. And I put a lot of hours in it, but I didn't feel like I did. It just went by so quickly because it didn't seem like there was much of a challenge. It was just, you just keep going forward. It wasn't like I had to think about anything. There wasn't any reason to change Pokemon out. There was no reason to try to level up. It was just dumb and easy.
Has the PvP for Pokemon gotten any better? At least battles
hasn't changed. It's what it's been for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They keep every generation they add in a new gimmick mechanic to try to shake up the metagame, and it settles too quickly. The metagame gets figured out for Pokemon way too quickly, and then it just stays stagnant for the entire generation. They're not very good at keeping it fresh outside of when a new generation comes out. Is kind of my thought on the Pokemon metagame. I tend to avoid it, to be honest. I don't really get a lot of fun out of it.
This is what's the giant Pokemon thing?
Gigantamax.
It just seems stupid. It's this game could be really good if you just didn't do that and just added more polish and some of the other stuff. It just seemed kind of gimmicky, like you said.
Well, people really liked Mega Evolutions a few generations ago. That was a really cool idea where you were...
why don't they just build off of that? Why do we have to have something different?
Exactly. Why do they change it?
Mega Evolutions were cool.
Maybe they just wanted something big for their Switch release.
Right, yeah.
Big.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, though. Z moves, the Mega Evolutions, those were amazing. And they should stick... I wish they would go back to that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have, Gigantag, Z move, Mega Evolution.
They'll give it a bad name, and it'll be something.
Yeah.
So I've got a prediction that I think has a shot at happening in next week's Pokemon Presents, and it's a Gen 4 remake. In the same style that they did kind of the Heart Gold Soul Silver and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. The reason I say that is in the Pokemon Snap trailer, I got the feeling they were teasing a lot of those Pokemon were Gen 4 Pokemon.
So, the Switch though, because all those other remakes were DS things. So this doing it on the Switch is a totally different world. I feel like trying to do it on there.
Well, just do what they did with the 3DS. Is you have X and Y, and then they build off of that to make a.
I guess it'd be like Sword and Shield.
And then they. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be
just
for
use
that.
The Sword and Shield.
I would be more excited for that than the Sword and Shield stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Gen 4 and 5, especially the DS one, so Diamond and Pearl and Black and White. They have a bit of a problem now. They're really hard to go back to because they're so painfully slow.
Yeah, I did not like those ones.
No,
out of all of them, what's your favorite one?
Out of every generation?
Which game in particular?
Ultra Sun and Ultra
really?
Moon.
Oh, it was Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald for me. I loved Sapphire.
Silver.
Those are very good.
I love Silver.
Silver?
Yep. Those are very good.
Yeah. I even bought Soul Silver after it came out. And I missed the Pokewalker. It came with the Pokewalker.
Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah, I've got that. I have Soul Silver as well. It's funny.
Yeah.
My favorite Pokemon is
Well, the thing about Silver was that you could go back to Kanto.
Yeah, that was cool. It was like it just gave you the whole.
Why can't you do
I
that
wish that you just had one game that had everything. Why can't we just do this?
Yeah. Look. Why can't you go back to the other maps? Oh, that's great.
My favorite Pokemon of all time is Totodile. Yeah. He has really sick dance moves. He does. He goes like, you know.
My favorite Pokemon of all time is Nidoking.
Nice.
And the only reason is back in when I was playing Red and Blue, when I was in not kindergarten, but grade school.
Little Alex.
Kindergarten, it was 1992, so it was a while ago. Nidoking in Gen 1 can learn fire moves, water moves, lightning moves. So my Nidoking, I'd send him out, and he had Thunder, Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, and Horn Drill. And I was like,
Just wreck
come
it.
at me, bro.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
Nothing can kill me.
Yeah. So Nidoking is my favorite Pokemon.
All right.
Are we done with Pokemon? We can talk about Crash 4?
I just skimmed through the rest of the video, and there's not much else to share this way. It's just talk about the DLC stuff, which I don't think any of us are really that interested in for Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Jacob's got some thoughts on it that he'll share when he is onto the website again. But yeah, so Crash 4 is a bit of a surprise. I don't think any of us or anyone really saw it coming.
It's about time.
It's about time, which is what they're calling it. Which is one of those. It's one of those titles that's it's funny, but it, like in 10 years it won't mean anything.
Yeah, that's true.
The fractured butthole.
The fractured butthole. I really like that title because the first time I heard it, I was like, "That's a weird title," and then like 2 seconds later, I was like, "Oh, ha 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 ha!" I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some breaking news. I don't know if I'm just late to this, but it looks like 2 hours ago. It says Crash Bandicoot 4. It's All About Time official reveal is tomorrow.
Yeah, that's. I saw that literally as we were starting the stream. That was my secret. I was going to save it for this
I just
part.
typed it in to see, and it just came up. So yeah, looks like we'll finally get the official parts of it tomorrow.
Right, and there is so tomorrow there is an event, I believe. Yeah, it's the Day of the Devs showcase tomorrow, which is part of Summer Game Fest holiday, whatever they're calling it. So I think this is part of that. So it is this. So I'm excited for Crash 4, and I'll get to that in a sec. But it kind of like Star Wars Squadrons. Why are they teasing us with announcements when you could just announce it? Like. Couldn't we have waited 12 hours?
I don't know. I think
to learn
I think
about
they
this
just
game?
want to have
Hype.
I think they just want to be like, and we're gonna be announcing the full stream of our game. Ah, like I think they want to have an event for it, you know?
I guess, yeah, and I guess you want people to tune in, and like Day of the Devs is obviously a new thing, so people might not be super interested in it. Now, if they're like, oh, Crash will be there, people are like, oh, okay, like that's a legit show. I'm going to tune in. But it's, I don't know. I like surprises. I don't like hearing about something a few days before and then knowing what I'm going to hear about at an event. But anyway. So this is Crash 4. It sounds like it's going to be a 3D platformer like the first 3 games and not more of like the action-adventure types that they were doing. So, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on Crash? Have you guys played it? Like the series at all?
I haven't played a Crash game since Crash 2.
Mm-hmm.
The last one I played was Warped.
Warped?
Yeah, which was number 3, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all of them, so I played the ones even after the first 3. So I played the Wrath of Cortex and Xbox. We were talking about that in their pre-show with us, and then the not Insane. Was it? There's Crash Nitro something. There was one that's
Nitro Fuel.
Crash Nitro. It was something with him and Cortex or something. Let's see, Crash games. There's a bunch of them that came out after. There's a ton, and they were not very good.
Yeah. I keep forgetting what a Bandicoot
Crash
looks like.
Twin Sanity.
Twin Sanity, yeah. There was Wrath of Cortex, Twin Sanity, Crash of the Titans, which I don't think I've ever even heard about, and Mind Over Mutant, which I've definitely
never heard. Do you guys ever play Crash Bash?
No.
It was like
Mario Party?
It was a Mario Party-ish like game. It was more of like a Fusion Frenzy, if you remember that, where it was just like a bunch of kind of like a big activity. So it is kind of Mario Party like. Man, I used to play that game a ton. I totally forgot that even existed.
So what are your thoughts on a new Crash game then, Kev?
I'm super excited, and I kind of hope they follow, since they had such good success doing the remakes of the first 3, I hope they follow that type of gameplay and they don't try to redo it.
Yeah.
Like, if they try to do a big open world and they try to make it different, I feel like it's just going to fall into a world of samey with a bunch of other stuff that's similar.
Well,
and
then it's not Crash 4. If they do it that way, they can't call it
But if they do the same thing, I honestly, even though those games were old, the remake of it they redid in the trilogy they did, it made it feel new. It didn't feel like it was an old game.
It's excellent.
Even though it was still kind of an on-rails type of thing, it felt good. So, and it was challenging, very tough, and very fun, but not impossible challenging.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
We got a review. We got a review of that over on the website of the trilogy remake, and I loved it. I thought I was they kept the games real and true to what they are, but like made them modern. And like honestly, like it's hard to go back to the PlayStation. Like look behind me. I clearly don't have a problem with retro games. The PlayStation, especially, is a system I have a really hard time going back to. I find it doesn't play well. It doesn't look very good for a lot of its games, and I was really happy at that remake. So if they haven't announced the developer, I really do hope it's Vicarious Visions who's handling it. They did a really good job with that remake.
So it looks like I see some stuff talking about like rumors about tomorrow. It says that it'll be announced that they're thinking that it'll be released in October 9th, 2020 is the rumored release date. Talking about, and then so other Activision stuff is rumored. So I'll just jump into this here. Talks about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which is coming out on September 4th. And then talking about very soon Call of Duty title, and then Blizzard Shadowlands expansion, which I think they're having a thing coming out anyway. So I think Activision's got like the most stuff that's actually coming out this year. Like, granted, this isn't all official, but we at least know all those things are coming out this year. We know there's Call of Duty.
Well, I mean, there will be a Call of Duty.
We just know that.
It's always a Call of Duty game.
Interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting. Cool. Anything else on Crash? I think we're just excited to see what more about it, but it sounds like it's...
As long as we see tomorrow some traditional type gameplay, I think most people will be pretty happy. At least I will. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear...
Sorry.
Oh, God.
Remember for the commercials?
Oh, my God.
Those are good. You guys like the suit.
I love those commercials. Those are great.
It was really uncomfortable.
Those commercials, I think, were like a big part of why like console wars are a thing. Like people were like, you could go to Nintendo and yell at them, and like, it was fun. I liked it a lot.
I miss the good old flame wars that what's it called? Games like Crash would start. It's like, this is why you should have a PlayStation. Yeah. You know, we're all like 10 or 11 or something, fucking playing Crash.
One thing that I really miss. I don't know if you guys remember the PlayStation 4 reveal. There was this really great moment, because it was right after Microsoft's Xbox One reveal that everyone hated because no one understood how the Xbox One was actually going to work. And Microsoft had talked about like, oh yeah, like once you own a game, you can share it with someone, but you have to be like, it's tied to your Xbox account, and like used games won't work on this thing. And then Sony was like, here's how you share a game on the PlayStation 4, and just hands them the game.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That was
such a good like mic drop moment. I love it.
I remember being at
work. What a troll moment.
And watching that and just losing my mind at work. And everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching the PS4 reveal, and they're slamming the shit out of the Xbox One. This is the best day ever. It was so funny.
Like this cycle hasn't been very there hasn't been a lot of barbs thrown, like it like flames at him or anything. Like it's been like very like,
oh my God,
system, right? But,
and not just that, but they're like congratulating each other on what a great performance. Like, don't do that.
Go to war again. What happened to Genesis does what Nintendo don't? What happened to that?
Yeah, come on.
Cool. So as the last thing for the show, just kind of like wanted to go through there's 5 scheduled events for next week.
That's right.
So we've got the Day of the Devs showcase, which is tomorrow. Which, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, it's one of those. It's kind of like it reminds me of the Future Game Show from last week, where we're like, who knows? Who knows what this is?
Could be cool. This could be cool.
Yeah, and I think they're doing multiples of these throughout the summer, if I remember. So this is like the first one. So we'll see. Jeff Keighley's been hyping it up on Twitter, and he's usually pretty good to get like what gamers are interested in. Like, he won't hype up something that he knows is not going to get people interested. Then on the 23rd, we got New Game Plus Expo, which I'm pretty excited about. So this is a bunch of Japanese publishers like Sega, NIS America, Idea Factory, those types of companies. Spike Chunsoft will be there announcing their games. So that's really cool. I know we were supposed to get a Sonic game announced a few months ago at South by Southwest, and after that got canceled, Sega was like, oh, we'll talk about Sonic later. Don't worry about it. But I'm pretty hyped. I think it's behind my head, but like I got some Sonic merch.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, so I'm really hyped for a good Sonic game. I really hope it's Mania 2.
Did you play through all that? That game was pretty fun. I played a little.
Yeah, Sonic Mania is great. I love Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
On the 24th, we got Marvel Avengers War Table, which is going to be more info on that
Yes.
Square Enix game.
I am so excited for
Yeah, I
that.
think-
I'm very excited for
Uh,
that.
I really last time
Great.
the last time they showed Avengers, everyone was kind of making fun of it, kind of like, oh, it looks like the movie extra, like the stunt doubles, and not the real
does.
actors. I want to see gameplay. I want to see how this plays. Like
I just want to understand what it is.
exactly, like they didn't really show much about it, and like every one of the Avengers plays so differently that, or like has such different abilities that it could be a really cool idea. Like, but if they're all going to be like kind of the same thing, it turns into like kind of an Ultimate Alliance type game, and that's less interesting, I find. But and then on Thursday, we've got the other Pokemon presents, and then also a Cyberpunk 2077 presentation called Night City Wire. So that game
Where they're
recently
gonna show the
delayed.
city.
I keep
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
they have barely shown us like the breadth of depth the game possesses. Like I've seen a couple different articles saying
Uh-oh.
you guys have no idea what you're in for with this game because it is just insane. So that does excite me quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I'm granted it got delayed again. That was another big thing that happened.
So, speaking of the delay that happened, they went on very public record, publicly, and were like, we are not delaying the game, it's releasing on time.
Well,
But they delayed it to
And-
November. But then they delayed it to November.
And then they delay it again. All right.
wondering if it's some
I
type
do
of
wonder-
next gen thing they're trying to do here, where they want to release it at the same time as these consoles are coming out. That's what everyone keeps talking about. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's still going to come out for previous gen, and they're getting the upgrade, and maybe Microsoft and Sony are throwing them some cash, saying, hey, if you wait a little bit, people are going to be like, well, I can buy a new console, and this would be a great new game to play on it at the same time. So I wonder if they're going to line perfectly. If we get a date for the release of one of those consoles with the new release date in November, I bet you that's what happened.
It makes a lot of sense. I do find it funny where when Last of Us 2 got delayed, everyone was like, "Boo, scum! This should have come out already." And then Cyberpunk gets delayed, and everyone's like, "Oh, good job, CD Projekt Red. We appreciate you putting quality first."
Yeah.
I did find that really funny. But yeah, next week's gonna be huge. Lots of games and stuff. Oh, and there's a Smash character tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little less excited now that I know what it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, the arms.
Arms.
I didn't even play that game.
Yeah.
It looks silly.
Show me the guns. There
It
they
is
are.
silly. It is silly.
Silly.
No, I'm not showing my guns.
I'm not sure.
Uh,
Once a show.
no.
So I just went on the Cyberpunk Twitter just for a second here. Apparently, as of 8 hours ago, they announced a new comic, which is great. But
Okay.
they also are saying your PS4 copy of the game will work on the PS5 on launch day. Anyone who buys Xbox One will be able to play on the Xbox Series X.
I wonder if they'll do the smart delivery thing for the Xbox Series X, where if you buy it on Xbox One, you get it on.
No,
Xbox
they are.
Series
Yeah, they
X.
announced that for both of them now.
Oh, they
Yeah.
are. They are.
So Xbox actually did. Xbox
Gotcha.
actually did it first. PS4 just did it recently and said it.
Okay,
Mhm.
I got you.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about for next
yeah.
week. So it'll be.
Yeah.
We have no idea again,
I'm
just
upset
like we
it's
did
delayed.
before.
This is-
Another week of just random news. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Is it me or is the news feeling so chaotic and random with gaming? Like
It's
Oh, yeah.
chaotic and random, but
It-
it's mostly not exciting.
This is
Like I keep thinking this is like, if you're like, oh, tell me about the best things that happened last week. I'm like, PS5 got revealed. Oh yeah, that's about it. I don't know.
I'm going to sound like a dinosaur, but like, this is why we need E3. We need something to contain this. And
Because this is a hot mess.
like-
It's just all over the place.
like, yeah, and it's 3 months of this. Like, it's like,
I don't like it either.
like, no, I don't. I do not like this. I appreciate that there's events that like get us interested, but like, I like that it was condensed in like a week and a half.
But I wonder
And, like,
if a lot of
get
this
it out of the
is
way.
last minute stuff these companies are doing because of the whole situation with pandemic and stuff. So I'm wondering if this is just they're not prepared to do everything, and maybe they're gonna just make bigger announcements later when they're more prepared.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's also the beauty of E3, right? It gave them all a deadline. It's like they had to get their stuff together
Yeah.
for a date.
Now
you
it's
know?
like, well, if we're not
Yeah,
ready,
because-
like you're exactly what you're saying. If we're not ready, yeah, we'll just wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. Might as well do it.
Or like watch our Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's been Nintendo's thing lately. Has been just Twitter announcements. Like Paper Mario was just like, "Hey, here's Paper Mario."
It's like,
Coming
oh,
out.
right.
Oh yeah, post that. How about Tuesday, Bill? Yeah, I think I got time. I'll post that.
Can we get that from our business admin student? Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that's fine. Just
Yeah.
post it.
What
Who's
are
got the
what are
YouTube
the
password?
interns doing?
It's on a sticky note at my desk at work.
An inside look into the inner workings of Nintendo.
Uh,
What a great role.
All right. Well, with that said, I think that's a show. I think we had a lot to talk about this week, and I think we did a good job talking about it. So,
so, too.
good job,
Absolutely.
everyone. All right, awesome. So, Nate, thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure
sir.
having you on.
how was your first show with us?
Yeah,
It was fun.
let's
This
review
is
our
fun.
performance. What's
I'm like learning a lot actually because like the whole time you're talking, I'm like googling stuff. I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god. But this is fun and like it's great to like put my own input on the things you guys are talking about instead of being like in the Twitch chat being like, I can't type fast enough. It's like I can actually just talk to you guys.
We appreciate the feedback and thanks a lot for coming on, my man.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, this is fun. This is great.
We got a slot. If you want it, it's yours.
Sweet.
So,
Oh, I also will not be back next week for our next week's podcast. So I'm going to Niagara. So we have our opening for our pot.
well, hold auditions.
Hold
for
auditions.
all
Well, hold
of
auditions.
us.
I'm not saying you're gonna get it right away,
No, great.
but it'll be there. You can try out for it, test your luck.
Very exclusive seat.
Yeah, lots of applicants right now. It's really cutthroat.
Yeah.
But make sure make it out. But yeah, we just want to say thanks again, everyone, so much for joining us. Remember, don't forget to send us an email at general.mail@linkcable.com.
I do read them.
Yes, Alex reads I think every single one, a lot, very much so, and gives us feedback, lots and lots of feedback. So keep it coming. And tweet us at linkcable1 and subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitch, soon to be Mixer, Kevin, soon to be.
We're saving that for 2021. We don't want to go all out just yet.
No, yeah, we're once we get really big, that's when we add in Mixer support. So yeah, and make sure you are listening to us on your favorite podcast apps because we do post our podcasts to those as well. So thank you everyone who is listening for us.
I want to say make sure to like and subscribe. We are very close to 50 subscribers, which for us is a milestone number. So
Woo!
you can't get to 10 million without getting to 50
So
first.
make sure you hit the
we gotta-
subscribe button down below, y'all.
Yeah. And the bell to be notified as soon as a new video comes
It
up.
should be like those
Oh,
videos.
God,
Like,
we
it should
turned
be
into
click
those
right here, and
videos.
there's like find where the little buttons for them to click.
It's like, come on, gamers.
Come on, guys.
You know the drill.
Yeah.
Press buttons when you're playing games anyway. This is just one more button, right? What's the
Challenge
problem?
accepted.
Also, the Twitch is linkcable01.
Yes.
So that you know what it is, because I had to Google it, and it's
Yeah.
nicer if you actually include what the channel name is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Hope you had a good time. We definitely did. So enjoy the rest of your weeks, and we'll be back Sunday at 7 p.m. Bye.
See you guys.
Perfect.